Okay. Dan who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands in my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and I'm trying not to laugh at this idiot mimicking me on the side.
Hey!
It's of course Rich M. Rich is here. Happy Thursday, everybody! Here on our regular scheduled program, and I'm in a secret location. Rich, do you know where I am? I'm in the secret bunker.
It doesn't look as big as the last location. You've downgraded them now.
Yeah, I'm in my attic, people. For anyone who's about to ask, I thought you had no toys. No, the attic is not really a great display space, but it'll do. My attic's an absolute mess. Just want to see some behind the scenes. There's the review table. Ah, look at that. What a dish rag. There's just piles of toys. Absolute nonsense. So my computer's up here. Thankfully, it works after a lot of stress. But we are here on a Thursday to talk about some toys, talk about Marvel Legends, and we have a special guest today. You might know his name. You definitely know his song, Shadimus Prime. Shadimus Prime will be joining us to talk about his Street Humans Kickstarter later on. Again, give us 15 minutes. We'll do the housekeeping, and then we'll bring Russ on to talk all things toys. And of course, he is going to talk about some Marvel Legends with us, as we just had some news drop. They finally revealed Wasp. Quick thoughts. Quick thoughts.
She just stung me. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that Janet Van Dyne is finally revealed. And I'm even more thrilled that whether this funds or not, we're going to get a Janet Van Dyne next year. So yeah, this is, for me, great way to do it. I love it. I think it's a great looking figure from that render. Again, renders can lie, so we wait and see. But it looks good. She's in a classic uniform. They've got like the microphone. They've got the headpiece. It all looks right. I mean, the wings, they could be maybe clear, no white, but then it's hard to tell because it's like a render. So maybe they are clear because, you know, renders don't always show everything correctly.
They're meant to be pink, right?
No, like clear wings.
Okay. They look clear.
But yeah, it looks really good. I like the body. It looks like she's got all the updated joints as well, like the fully articulated double elbows, double knees as well. Like Big Whale was already saying like you could use those arms, the gloves pink, and then swap it onto Clea. So Clea can have like double jointed arms as well. But yeah, this looks great. Always up for more Janet Van Dyne. The founding member of the Avengers that we missed this year, the only one who didn't get an update. She gave the Avengers their name, so I'm glad that this theme is continuing through next year, and we're going to get more figures. And Janet Van Dyne being the first one revealed is great for me. And again, I'm sorry to say, people, I have now backed the HasLab. After everything I've said, I have now backed the HasLab.
All it took was Janet.
I just needed Janet. That's all I needed. Damn it, Janet! But now I have backed the HasLab.
There you go. Breaking news to kick off this evening. Rich is now in on the Giant Man. I was in on day one. I never got the Build-A-Figure, so it's a character. Forget that it's a HasLab or not. You know me, for collecting, it's all about world building, and Giant Man is a character I haven't got. And if this is the opportunity to buy him, then I'm in. As you can see, founding members of the Avengers here. It is inevitable we're going to get that repainted Iron Man in the gold. But as I said, in issue 2 of the Avengers, look who else makes an appearance. Giant Man, of course. So this Wasp will be a beautiful accompanying piece to Giant Man if he does, of course, succeed. I have got an actual poll going up in the chat right now that quite simply asks the question: 4 days left. Will Giant Man get funded? 10k minimum. It is moving up since Wasp, you know. I've been checking, and it's moving up. So we've got yes, it will make it 10k with 58% so far. No, unfortunately, it's not happening with 37%, and 5% are very confident and said yes, it will unlock everything. So it's going to make it to 14,000. So we will, of course, discuss this a little bit later with our special guest. But yeah, of course, it's always good to have some actual breaking news. I do think the Hasbro team do that on purpose because we stream on a Thursday, so they know to give us a bit of news on a Thursday, right? That's
Oh,
the reason.
100%. They thought of all the streams, definitely getting it ready for the Dan Who stream.
Exactly.
That's the one we need.
Exactly. All right, let's do the housekeeping real quick, and then we can get our guest in here. So first things first, go and check out all the long form content on the channel. I know I owe the world, or owe Tanner, Mark and Tom at least, Turtles and Tea and a Joe's and Juice. They will be returning, of course they will. It's just a very, very busy time, but there will be an opportunity to come and talk some toys. Hopefully there's going to be a Joe's and Juice meetup next weekend. So we'll try and film something for the channel. Maybe we will get to meet some of the Hasbro team. We shall see. But go and check out all the long form content. Friday, of course, support the channel. Anything over £4 or $4. Friday, we'll read it out loud and interrupt the show. You want things to get awkward? Do it when Russ is here, because he won't hear it and he'll be very confused with the situation, but I'll probably mute it during that time, to be fair. But anything over £4 or $4, much appreciated. Hit that join button. I could see in the chat already that Z-Man upgraded his membership to the Who Crew Deluxe, so I very much appreciate that. I promise you, my super producers, next month, I am definitely getting you involved with the stream topics. It's just been super crazy. But if you are a Who Crew Deluxe member, then you can join us for the after show right after this, where we will be asking you guys, 4 days left, will the HasLab get funded? Will this Wasp reveal make any difference? We're going to be asking yous live on the stream after this, straight after this. The after show, as always, links in the description. The stream should direct you straight to the next one when this one ends. To watch that, be a Who Crew Deluxe. To be on the stream, be a Who Crew Deluxe. It is that simple. Much appreciated. Let's jump to the chat and see who is here. So let me scroll up a little bit. Let me close the poll. So as I said, in nice and early was Phil Jones, Mr. Hill Phones himself. Mark Rose, there's Z-Man upgrading his channel membership. Pixels on Plastic says it's Thursday, peeps, and you know what that means. Toy Talk with Rich and Dan, or Tigra, Rich and Hellfire Hank. But still, you know what it means. We've got Jamie Gitchard, Mark Tac, Cloud Foxwell, Jay's Toy Collection UK says evening all. Figure Cave Collectibles says evening Who Crew. Omar V. Ted Darklaw says hello friends. Hello Ted. Mikey Moon Boots with the pals, Jelly Figs with the pals. Justin collects. We've got the Super Turk 5000 here. Lady Mac, Paul McCarthy. That's the couple, you know. If you didn't know, now you know. They're a couple. There you go. That's where their Lady Mac comes from. Mind blown. I didn't realise that for ages. So now you know. We've got Jason Lopez, the retweeting king. Craig's Nostalgic Collection. Home Dude, Fortress Maximus. I do appreciate Jason giving me the trumpet emojis when the intro plays. I do like that. That should be a thing. Who else we've got? Fortress Maximus. Displayed once. I've heard of him. Is Abnuggler here? Oh shit, quick. 100 likes sends him down the well. I haven't seen Abnuggler in a while, but clearly he's lurking. He's lingering. We got Damien as well, says evening all, preferring the attic displays with the mess. Yeah, the attic, I never get to show you these displays, but I've got G.I. Joe's, Power Rangers, and Turtles. Maybe later on in the show I'll get the camera out and give you a closer little behind the scenes look. But Rich has been telling me for about a year to do a video of this room, and I haven't got to it yet, but I will. It's coming. Little Leaf Creation says evening all. Mike Hex says what's up? Cheeky Monkey Cara. Hello. How are we all doing? Right. I do want to do one thing before we get Russ in here, right? I haven't really got many pickups recently as everything's in storage, but I have got one thing, Rich. And I want to spend a special thank you to Scotty C. He's been on Legends and Liquor. I don't know if he's lurking here this evening, but he helped me track down the Hirsch Mayfex. Now that man is a wheeler and dealer. He's a Yu-Gi-Oh card reseller. I hope you don't mind me saying that, but he's got connections, and so his connections hooked him up, and then he hooked me up. So thank you very much, Scotty C, wherever you are. If you don't see this, I'll make sure I message you after the stream anyway. But she arrived safe and sound. I can hear her purring in the box here, but she is looking very, very nice to add. Now, do you know what this means now, Rich?
You've got to get them all now.
I've got to get Harley Quinn. I've got to get Joker. I've got to backtrack. But who else is that? Huntress, the Hush,
Nightwing.
Himself. I've got Nightwing. I've got both Batmans. I've got Superman. I've got Nightwing, and now I've got Catwoman. But now I've got her, I feel like the others are more obtainable. So this was my sort of mini grail. So Scotty C, thank you so much. She is now in my possession. Beautiful. So let me get this link out to Sharmus Prime, and we can get him in to talk some toys. There are links in the descriptions to Street Humans. There is a link pinned to the top of the chat as well. So as we're discussing and chatting away, you've got no reason why you can't go out and find some links to Street Humans. And again, we get to talk to him from an international perspective. Like as a UK collector, what's the best way to buy these things? That's what we're going to be asking him, as well as just the generic sort of origins of Street Humans. As if you've been in this collecting space for a while, it's not a new name, as it did make an appearance for a little bit, and then it went and got retweets, and he can tell us all about its relaunch here today. So the link has been sent out to Shartimus, so I'll wait for him to get in. Have you got anything real quick, Rich, before Rush gets in here?
I've got no pickups this week. No,
wow.
I've just been like playing with my X-Men 97 figures. I really like this Gambit. I know he's the worst one, but I just really like it. He looks like he's from the cartoon. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's the whole point of him, isn't it? So I haven't got him yet. Like I don't know. Like because I know I can't review them straight away. I'm just not in a massive rush to get them just yet. But I absolutely will. Of course I will. Should I get two? They are on a nice, pretty card back. That is going to be tempting.
Yeah, they are. They are on a nice card. I've only got one of them in here just because of funds, but I mean, I might get more. I'll see.
Let me get Russ in here, and I'll jump to the screen. Hopefully my screen works and we are all good. I haven't tested it yet, but we should be good. All right, there he is. He's loading up. And there he is. Mr. Shartimus Prime. Tell us if you can hear us. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. Are you muted on your end? It's all right. It's not an actual Zoom call unless someone gets muted. Are you there? Oh, wait. We still can't hear you. That's it. Get to those sound settings. It's all right. If not, we can just do the interview in mime. Just get your wallet out, point to the wallet, pull it to your action figures. It's connecting to audio. It's got a tick. Nope, still can't hear you.
How about now?
Now we can.
Now?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Excellent. Hey, I came way prepared. I got my Catwoman right over here, and I've been having a great time with the liquor too. I just go in. I'm a lightweight. This stuff takes months.
What is that? Is that whiskey and is that gin or whiskey or something?
This is Jameson right here.
Oh, okay,
but this is my choice. This is called Flor de Caña.
Okay.
It's Nicaraguan rum. And,
rum. I do like a rum.
It's my favorite. So like rum and Coke, I don't know that, but it's not a regular thing. I really don't drink that often.
You're talking our language though, Russ. Me and Rich can drink. That's something we toys and drink. That's why I made Legends of Liquor, for God's sake. It's two of my favourite things. But we are good to have you here on the Thursday show, talking all things toys, and especially because you have a project going on right now. Now, again, these people in the chat, they're around. They know what's going on. But I have got all the links up here today, so let me get them all up and.
Thank you.
Thanks
so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
No, thank you for coming on. As I said, I was saying to Rich just before the stream, like it's always a pleasure when you come on, because again, before I was even on YouTube, I was watching people like you and Glenn Webb talk about Marvel Legends. Right, that is my origin. So for me, you will always be one of the godfathers of this Marvel Legends game. So again, always welcome on this channel. But now you're getting into your own toys.
Oh yeah,
it is of course. Street Humans. So the Kickstarter is live right now. So I'm going to play the video, but it will be on mute. So feel free to commentate through this video as it plays if you want. Just give us an introduction to Street Humans.
Well, I want to first let everybody know that we did get an extension on the Kickstarter campaign. So we've added 7 days to the campaign, which I think is awesome because there's a lot of stuff going on in the action figure world right now, and I felt like this would give us a better chance to extend the Kickstarter, so I'm really happy about that. And you can see this right here is showing off some of the tiers. So we have an animated short, we have other characters that we want to bring in here with other tiers and accessories for each of the characters. We now have these, including their alien heads. We didn't have that at first, so you get 3 heads, 2 sets of hands, and 2 weapons, $28 a piece. And these figures are loaded with articulation, and they're 1/12 scale, meant to fit into your Marvel Legends display. You could fit them in a G.I. Joe classified display, in a wrestling display, your WWE. They work well with Star Wars figures too. This is kind of fulfilling a need that I've had in my collection for a long time, where I want cool looking civilians. And I just got tired of reusing the same old head sculpts and body molds over and over again. I wanted them to look more unique. And I figured, hey, Hasbro's not going to do it. I'm going to do it myself. And it has been quite a process. I also wanted to incorporate the whole alien storyline into this thing. So there's shape-shifting aliens. One faction is coming to Earth for world domination. And then the other one, Alago, is there to stop him and bring him back to their home planet, Uduba. And I have a fairly complex story behind each of the characters. It's been a lot of fun getting into that. We could probably talk about that more later because it's kind of geeky, nerdy, stuff. But like,
you're in the right place. Well, let's start at the beginning. Let's go back. Let's start at the beginning, right? Because as a toy fan, we all have that ambition of like maybe creating something of our own. So I'm curious for you. I'm sure being a collector, you're always intrigued with the industry and maybe one day getting into making your own toys. So what came first here? Was it the aliens element, as in like a story that you've created yourself that you'd like to bring to life, or was it the army builder ACBA sort of need that you're trying to fill in the market? Because there's definitely intrigue with both, and I've been watching some of your other interviews on some of the other channels, and it seems like you were surprised with how intrigued people actually are about more of the alien aspect. Because I've heard you say that you thought that people would just be like, oh, okay, these are some goons from my ACBA, just some gap fillers in the collection. But you've been getting some praise about the aliens. And again, I, for one, would agree. Like, that intrigues me more, genuinely, than the army builder thug aspect. Because for me, like, I'm not an ACBA guy. Like, and I would get, like, the magic about the community is that there's so many little niches within toy collecting, whether it be diorama builders, photographers, reviewers, podcasters, whatever it is. There's a niche, and like for me, I don't do ACBA, like, but I talk and I build displays and I world build. So like I don't necessarily need thugs and goons, but I like the idea of having like a little offset crew of funky, cool looking aliens, because we're all just fans of cool looking toys at the end of the day. So yeah, what happened there with the aliens and the army builders? What came first? How did that sort of merge together eventually?
Well, first off, thank you for your interest in the alien heads. That makes me so happy to hear. Like every time somebody says something positive about the alien head designs, I'm just thrilled to hear it, because originally I did really focus this on fulfilling the gap in ACBA, getting civilians in there. That was like the original.
Definitely a gap. Still a gap to this day.
Yeah, that gap is there. So I had done the drawings, and I'd done some rough sketches. I'm not an artist, but I can draw a little bit. And I'd done these drawings, and I wanted them to have interchangeable heads and the waist removal feature, the weapons, like all that stuff was planned out from the beginning. The interchangeable arms, all of that was right from the very beginning. But just seeing it on paper, I felt like it wasn't enough. I was like, this has to have something else to it. This needs something a little bit more creative involved. And I was like, they got to be shape-shifting aliens. And if those who watched my channel for a long time maybe have heard me talk about my fascination with bats. So the lead character has this bat alien inspired, this bat
right here,
alien head. And that's the main character, Alago, right there. He's the protagonist of the story. This bat head has gotten more attention than anything else, like especially at PowerCon, having him on display. A lot of people complimented the bat head, and my God, that's just made me so happy to see, because I really thought that would be more of the afterthought and it actually got the most attention. So I was really pleased with that. So yeah, to answer your question, it was originally just having the civilian designs or concepts put together, and then the alien heads did come afterwards, and the story came after. And I've always been into storytelling. I've always wanted to do that. While very short, the big time letdown Spider-Man has kind of been kind of its own story and its own series, especially, I think around 2016, 17, around that era of my big time animated, sequences that I've put together over the years kind of all culminated into a storyline about him getting killed by Deadpool and all this stuff. I've done the collector documentaries. I love being a storyteller. I want to tell stories. So I have this story behind the street humans and their native planet and them coming over here and who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. It's a little bit blurry. Everyone thinks they're doing the good thing, but are they truly the good guy or are they truly the bad guy in the situation? It's more a matter of perspective. I love stories that are like that. Very much like a Professor X Magneto kind of thing, where it's like, Magneto's doing some bad things, but does he have the worst of intentions, really? Right?
Yeah.
So I love those kinds of characters, and that's what I'm bringing in with, the character side of things. But the development of these alien heads has been a lot of fun, and I'm just really excited that people are interested in it. Didn't take very long for me to include those heads in those packs. Hearing that request,
that was something you added, wasn't it? For people that ain't aware, that when you originally started the campaign, the heads were maybe an unlockable tier, wasn't they? Eventually, but now they're included, and you didn't raise the price either. You just included it as an extra.
Right. Yeah. So it's digging into my margins, but not yours. So this is a very collector. This is a figure line from collectors to collectors. And I have no plans on stopping my YouTube channel or anything like that. I love being a YouTuber. I love making videos talking about toys. There's no intentions of me wanting to stop this at all whatsoever. I think with some other companies that, especially, smaller companies that have a higher price point, I think they're more of doing that stuff full time. You know what I mean? So I think that's how I'm able to manage this. But yeah, it's definitely eating into my end, which is fine because I'm excited that people want them. So by popular demand, we've included the alien heads with each of the characters at no extra cost.
As I said, for someone like me, that's how I'd display them. As I said, I'm in for these, and I will display them with their alien heads. But I do like the fact that if you wanted to, you have that option to just switch them around. I love all the gear and the weapons they come with, and I guess the possibilities for the future with stuff like that are endless, with weapons packs and accessory packs and changing clothes and different pieces. So the line looks really good. Rich, you're just like us, you're a collector. Yeah, you love all things stories and comics and stuff. What do you think of the street human stuff?
Yeah, it intrigues me. I like the little short animation you put out as well. That was really cool. So to see that world expand more is really good. I think the designs are great. And these that you've got based on a Marvel Legends, you are the godfather of the Marvel Legends review. Let's put it like that. And tied to that, you've got some people who are title legends. You've got Dave Vonner involved in this, and then from Super 7, you've got Brandon Gash, who's just done the Thundercats. He's doing those Star Trek Ultimate. He's been involved in the sculpting of this as well. So do you want to speak a bit about the other people you've got involved in it? Yeah, because
just to remind people, these Kickstarter, this ain't just a couple of images he's made on Photoshop and it's just an idea. There is so much work that goes on behind the scenes, and he's actually got the prototypes in his hand. So as I said, the ball has been rolling.
Yes. So first off, there's not one part of this project that I have not had my fingers deeply ingrained into it, but I need people working with me that have talents that I don't have. I had my initial sketches drawn out, and then first worked with, I first met him as a YouTuber year one, way back from Brazil with Love. Vinny Fontes is our designer, and him and I had a fantastic time doing Zoom calls, flushing out these designs. And he just brought a lot of creativity to this. And from there, we got Brandon Gash sculpting, And during the sculpting process, Dave Vonner had helped us with some points here and there and adjusting, like tuck shoulders in here, knees here, little, he's got an incredible eye, and he also really helped with the alien head design. So I have to give credit to Brandon for really bringing that realistic edge and grit to the sculpts, because my drawings are rough, and we originally had, and then Vinny's drawings, while awesome, like kind of fit a little bit more into like what we would see in our average Marvel Legends display. But this has that Toy Biz McFarlane kind of edge to it. It's a little bit grittier, a little bit more realistic, and I love that about these figures. So Brandon really had a strong influence on making them come to life, making them feel a lot more real, like they could be in a movie or something, And the process has just been incredible. So Brandon's done incredible work for other companies like Super 7 and Premium DNA and Nacelle. He's done work for Nacelle, so he's done a fantastic job with these. Our model shop in China has done a fantastic job with making some adjustments. Like we've changed the guts of the figure. So I've taken this thing apart. Like I know how all the components work inside. That's the other thing, is that like let's
discuss the articulation while we're there, because you've got the explanation here. So again, this is a mainly Marvel Legends channel, so the majority of people of this watching this probably all collect Marvel Legends, and these I basically have the same type of articulation, but all the best parts of a Marvel Legend, right?
Right, and more. And I wanted to take it to another level. I want this to be closer to like an import figure. I want it to be on that range, and I feel like we're almost there. I don't know if we can include even more articulation, maybe make some changes to the neck and stuff like that for the better. We will, but even as it is right now, it is super fun. Just it's got tons of range of movement as it is, and I've been having a blast posing these. And by the way, those that may have noticed that there's like a little bit of paint rub and stuff like that, this is one of those prototypes that you do not play with.
Yeah, it's a prototype anyway. That's all people need to know.
Yeah, the grayscale ones are the ones that you play with and pose around and all that. This is the kind where they glue the bottom of the feet to a clear stand and nobody's allowed to touch it.
Yeah.
But I have been going nuts with these things and posing them like crazy, like a moron.
It's hard not to, I guess, when you finally have the creation you've been planning for so long in your hands. How could you not? It's hard to just leave it.
Right? Thank you for understanding, because I know there's got to be people in the industry watching it just cringing, like, oh my God, how is he doing that to the figure? But I just really wanted to see these come to life. I mean, to have it in hand, it's such an amazing thing on my end. I have to get him into the poses. I got to show him off, man. Like you said, how could I not?
Yeah, of course.
After so many years, too. The idea was first conceived in 2020. So the first half of 2020.
I remember. Like, full transparency, like you had this plan before, but then you sort of rejigged it, right? You said yourself that like you were just excited to get it out, but you felt there could changes to be made.
Right. Yeah. I jumped the gun a little bit. The timelines on things that, I had miscalculated the timelines. So I thought back then it was a smart move to kind of recalibrate, maybe, and I'm really happy I did, because I feel so much better about, like, there's a lot of uncertainties that first time around. Like this time, like, well, maybe like this time it's just, I feel so much more confident in what I have right in front of me. It's even better than it was before. So,
and that only benefits the people that want them as well, then. Do you know what I mean? Like the people that were in from the get-go, if it's better this time round, then that only benefits the people that are in now.
Right. Absolutely. And for those of you that were interested the first time around, I think my Kickstarter analytics showed that there was like still about 50% of the people that backed it the first time still haven't backed it this time. So definitely back it if you backed it the first time around. Also, if during the stream anybody backs this thing, I see the number go up, I will summon the power of the Infinity Gauntlet for those who back the project are making a dream a reality. So we got the reality stone right over
if
there.
anyone backs it during this stream, please make me aware in the chat, and we'll make sure Russ knows. There are, as I said, multiple ways to back it. Links are in the description. We will go through them real quick, but first, let me just go to the chat. I want to send a massive thank you to James for just becoming a channel member, showing some love. Thank you so much, James. Underneath that, Mark Tac with the super chat says, Shartimus, transforming human to alien head soon, question mark. I remember the logo, one of the logos you had for Street Humans was the half sort of half and half face. So that'd be a pretty cool like transitioning face sculpt, I guess, for the future.
Yeah, great question, Mark. Yeah, I would love to do that. I actually have a head sculpt with it's a human face exploding. So nice, it's got cracks and stuff in it, and I want it to have like the green goop, kind of seeping through, so it's like a mid transformation. I wanted their heads to kind of like explode for a minute. There is a bit of violence involved with them. So in the animated short, you don't really see them get into it. They're about to get into it, but
is it R-rated? Is this franchise R-rated?
Oh yeah, okay, blood everywhere. Yeah. We're going full on hardcore B movie. Thus the silly name. There's some people that hate the name. Like,
well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because again, people like in the UK, like we think of Street Sharks, and I'm sure you've heard that of many people. But I learned that you weren't even really aware of Street Sharks, and it wasn't even on your brain when you were thinking of this. Explain to people the origins of the name, and obviously the inside sort of the simplicity of it is very intentional, and people don't get that. People genuinely think this is what the brain shop came up with.
Right. So Street Humans, I didn't want to use any kind of derogatory language towards them. I didn't want to, come off insulting. I think there's another line out there that uses like city thugs or something like that. Okay, and I'm like, well, okay, but can't they be people too? Like they could just like, while you may want to use these as goons or thugs, like they could still just be people. Like they don't have to be goons. They don't all have to be bad guys. They could just be civilians. So the name Street Humans, I wanted it to be a little bit campy because I have this whole alien story, kind of They Live, Transformers kind of thing going on. So I wanted there to be a bit of campiness to it. And I thought a silly name like Street Humans would be perfect. Also, I love how Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead had a great play on words with The Walking Dead. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, sorry, got to close that tab right there. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, you know that The Walking Dead does not refer to the zombies. The people, the survivors are doomed. Like they are going to die. They are The Walking Dead. It's the humans. It's the people that are The Walking Dead, not the zombies. So in this story, the Street Humans are us. That's their name for us humans. And they come from a very turbulent planet that's 8 times the size of our planet. It rotates 20 times faster than ours. It has an alternating axis. So they have crazy weather nonstop to the point where they evolve to be able to adjust to any environment, thus giving them their shape-shifting ability. So they come to this earth and they see all these streets all over the place, kind of ruining it here and there. And they see that we're obsessed with these streets. We're always using them and on. That's their observation. That's their perspective of us humans. And the world domination comes in with Eon wanting to take over the planet. It's a better planet. Their deity, he has a dream. It all starts with a dream. Of course. How much bloodshed in the world have we experienced based on a dream, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a reflective thing on. So the guy has a dream and now bloodshed, basically. So he's had a dream. Oh, that was an accident.
So back to Earth. Did we hear that? No.
Did somebody back it? I don't think so. That was just an oopsie on my part. But he has the dream that the deity of their planet has been upset over the civil war that they have over there, which, by the way, these characters have their own mutant powers.
Oh, okay.
So the bat-headed character, his name is Alago.
Yeah.
he has telepathy abilities.
Okay, like Professor X.
And yes.
Okay.
So if we get to that point where we could make more accessories, maybe we can get some more telepathic effects,
Effect pieces and stuff like that too. Yeah, that again are universal, just like the concept of army builders are universal as well. I like it.
Yes. And Eon, he has telekinetic abilities. So that's opening up the doors over there. Edel, the crocodile-looking one, he has super strength. And Erus is a technician's expert, and he can create all kinds of different weapons that I think would be useful. Thus, he comes with that huge plasma gun that could be used for a Marvel character, or that one right there. That was something that a lot of people asked for. There should be an alien gun, so we developed an alien gun, which I think looks really badass. So very happy with that. So they have their mutant abilities and everything as well. So Eon wants to take over Earth. Alago, Prince Alago, is the heir to the throne. He wants to impress his father, and he follows Eon to planet Earth to try to bring Eon back home. Eon's plan for world domination is not necessarily to exterminate humans. He wants to fix the planet and prep it for the repopulation of the Udubans. So before doing so, he wants to clean the planet up a bit. The humans that are with him, that want to help him, they live. They get to stay. But the ones that don't, they get the brutal axe.
It's crazy that you've got this big story already set out, and it's that weird concept where in the 80s they made toys to sell, and then to sell like the cartoon or something, and it's like we're getting it's like then we're getting the toys first, and like would you like to, again, obviously this is early doors first, but like. Would you like to expand the form of media we see street humans in? We've already seen the animated shorts and stuff like that. I'm assuming maybe, obviously, we're all comic fans here, so maybe comics and publication or something like that. So is there other ideas and concepts to expand the street humans?
Absolutely. I have storyboards drawn out for, like, that 2-minute short is like the first half of what I really wanted to do for the full animated short. It's just so expensive and so time consuming. That is the most expensive 2 minutes I've ever had in my life. It's crazy, and the amount of time put into it. For Beowulf was the animator. Bruce did a fantastic job, and then the voice acting was fantastic. We had Jobby the Hong voicing Eon, John 3.0, the epic voice guy, voicing Alago. We had Reg Henney in there voicing Edel. So we have a lot of...
If you need a random British guy or a random Welsh guy, then me and Rich are available for voiceover. Just saying. Always wanted to be in an animation, that's all. So I'm in.
I will keep you guys in mind. I could always use some more voices. So I will definitely keep you in mind. But yeah, and I'm flattered that you want to be a part of it. That would be great. But yeah, so... What am I getting at? I'm like getting all caught up in my train of thought. So the characters. Where was I going with this? I'm talking.
Well, we talked about the characters and world building. Let's go back to the toys for a second and talk logistics. Sure. Okay. So
we got that 404.
Did you hold
on? Okay,
there we go.
This time. Yeah.
It happened. Beautiful.
Have summoned the power of the Infinity Stones. Thank you.
There you go. So if you also want to back them, let's go through how people can back them. Okay. So first things first, of course, the Kickstarter is the main place to go. Now, again, we're in the UK over here, so I know originally it wasn't available in the UK, right? It's not. Is there a reason for that? Is that just a logistical sort of shipping reason or something like that?
Yeah, it's a night. I'm sure you've heard, North Americans complain about it a whole bunch, but like it's hell shipping out to the UK. Like it sucks.
It's expensive as well, by the way. The amount I pay, like gargoyles, for example, in the UK, then a lot. Disney do not license NECA to sell gargoyles in the UK, so you can't buy gargoyles at retail. So I have to get mine from friends in the US. Shout out Rush, and then he ships them. So I'm basically paying like double or triple for a single figure just to get it shipped over here, which is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, to like ship out like a $35 or $40 figure, that's probably going to cost somewhere between 30, like
Yeah,
25
double.
to 30
You're doubling
bucks.
it. It's doubling
Yeah,
it.
it's
simple as that.
basically double, and I don't want that. I don't want you to pay double for it. I recommend if you live outside of North America, to pre-order via Hella Dope Toys.
Here we go. So Hella Dope Toys. I've got the site up right now.
Yes.
Link is in the description as well. And again, great conversion rate. This ain't no Hasbro Pulse conversion rate, by the way. This is a more accurate conversion rate. Because I must say, Shat, that $28 is very reasonable in this current climate. Like, I know everything's getting more expensive, and us as collectors are always complaining about the prices going up, but I think in this current climate, for what we get here, and again, an indie startup with accessories, interchangeable parts, I think you've done well to keep the price point under $30 there. And then again, it's nice to see that conversion rate work in our benefit. Usually, by the way, Russ, Hasbro Pulse, like, if you guys have it at $100, for some reason it's like £130 for us in the UK. It never makes sense. So this is much more accurate.
Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
this is Hella Dope Toys. So do they take the cash straight away, Russ, or is this a pre-order again? How does it work for international through these?
So yeah, you back it through Hella Dope Toys. It's my understanding that you back it immediately, and then they're gathering backers to back the Kickstarter.
Yeah, so
itself.
they take the cash. It's just like a pre-order. It's like a pre-order. You're just paying up front, like you would with many of them. Yeah.
Right. You're paying up front, and then I believe this is going to get backed, but in the off chance it doesn't, you get your money back. These are really good guys. I first met Teddy 2 years ago at PowerCon. Teddy and Aaron we got to hang out and talk a whole bunch more. They've worked with a lot of other companies, and Bobby Valla has had nothing but nice things to say about them. So they're legit. And
yeah, we've seen them around in the community. We've seen them pop up. I'm still waiting for my mug that they always show off. But
Ted Darkclaw is in the chat as well.
Oh, there we go. Shout out Ted.
Hey, Ted.
And like you were saying about your gargoyles, I've got all my gargoyles females from Ted and Hella Dope Toys. So I've got it shipped. The shipping was like less than what I would pay from a UK retailer, and they got it out within like a week. They're really good, well packaged. So nothing but good things to say about Hella Dope Toys. Really good retailer. So I think partnering up for them for international is great. And as well, you've got other options as well. You've got Nudzoic and you've got Big Bad Toy Store as well, haven't you? Who've got these in stock. So again, if you are like a lot of international buyers do the pile of loots as well. So, you can go to Big Bad Toy Store, back them on there and put them in your pile of loot and then get them shipped out when your pile of loot builds up as well. So there's like other options as well for people.
Yeah, big. Sorry, I was doing the Shartimus Prime Big Bad Toy Store. Yeah. So yeah, as we're saying, there are options. So again, it's like people can find what's best for them. Obviously, it's not all a one solution fits all. Again, so much out there at the minute. Like, people have got to find their ways. And if that's the Big Bad Toy Store, just give you. I always say, Russ, that options are never a bad thing, right? And this is exactly that. Options are not a bad thing. There's either way, all of it goes towards supporting. But again, best way if you're in North America is through the Kickstarter.
I'm gonna try telling that to my wife and see how it goes.
So Kickstarter is one way. Hella Dope Toys is the best way. You're advising people to do it international. That's probably where I'm going to go for mine. As I said, I'm in for at least one of each of these. Big Bad Toy Store is another option. And again, like Rich said, you can it's like a pre-order format of Big Bad Toy Store. They don't charge you until they ship. So there you go. There's options there for the people.
Ted Darkclaw's in the chat as well, saying that all the money is stored in a separate account and will be returned immediately if for some reason the project does not fund. So it's more or less like a Kickstarter. It's like the Kickstarter as well. So like he'll fund that, but if anything goes wrong, then your money is kept and will be sent back to you. So it's like if you're international, it's a great way to back it, and they are really great at shipping out. I'm sure like Ted and everyone over at Hella Dope Toys will get those out to you internationally wherever you are in the world as well.
There you go. It's on the chat now. So if the chat doesn't appear for the replay crew, you can see it on the screen. Ted's there in the chat. Ted Darkclaw. All money is stored in a separate account and will be returned immediately if for some reason the project doesn't get funded. So again, fingers crossed everything does. But there you go. I will make sure the links are all in the description, all the same. But there you go. Hella Dope Toys. nice and simple. I'll drop the link in the chat as we're talking right now as well. Just
excellent. Yeah, and you can order domestically too, just like how you would, like, you know, if you're in the US, you can also put your pre-orders through Hella Dope Toys as well. I thought I closed that window.
do we keep disappearing on your screen? It's all good. We're still here. We're in the background.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Sorry. There's these Microsoft emails pop in here and there. All right.
So let's go through the actual Kickstarter then. So what can happen here? So you've just extended it, as you said. So you've just hit the 4,000 backer, 400 backer mark, 404 now, with 16 days to go. So that's over 2 weeks, which is plenty of time for a Kickstarter. I've seen Kickstarters like jump up 70% in the last day. Do you know, like, so hopefully it's closer than that on the last day, but it's a Kickstarter. It's like a jump at the start and a jump at the end. It's how these things work.
Right. And there's so much going on right now in the collecting community. Like there's so many, you know, Kickstarters going on. I have an interview with Dave Silva on my channel later today talking about Cyberzoic. You know, like Cyberzoic is running, Legendary had just wrapped up. So there's other fantastic campaigns out there. We have Giant Man is still going, right? So I figured giving the Kickstarter some extra time, let all that stuff kind of, you know, run its course a little bit, clear the air, let the Kickstarter shine, get its own kind of space.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
That would be a good thing.
I think that's sensible. And again, more time isn't a bad thing, especially as you said, in the current climate. So let's go down. Yeah. So there we go. There's that. So base offering. Let's go from the start. So you can literally just get one figure for $28. That's both characters that are available right now. And both of them come with 2 human heads. And what the expressions? Just sort of neutral and then an angry head, right?
Correct. I have my logo heads right here, so you can see we have, and these are sculpted and painted so
they
well.
Do look very good. They do. So
I really like these a lot.
When these are done in the factory, are you going to have the sort of digital face print in spray, or is it going to be old school painted? How are you going for it?
It's definitely going to have the photoreal tech.
Nice.
Added like that. That's the spray. You know, we're gonna have that photoreal spray on these, and we're gonna make them look as close to these painted prototypes as we possibly can.
They look great. Even the sculpts on there, just the anger expression, look really good. So 2 interchangeable heads, interchangeable hands as well. What are the hands like? Gripping hands for the weapons that come with them.
Yeah. Oh, and I just want to show off the Lago bat head again one more time.
Yeah, that is very nice.
Really happy with the way this came out. I think I cried when I first saw 3D print. Like I legit. My wife cried when she held the first prototype. By the way, my wife has been super supportive about this, and you know, God bless her. She's kind of, I feel like a mad scientist. Like that's what she said. It's like you're kind of like a mad scientist in that garage, constantly working on stuff, constantly in meetings, like rushing around and all this stuff. It's like it's hard for her to see what's actually happening because she only sees one side of me on the phone and all this. But
my missus sees me go to the attic and close the door. She has no idea I'm on YouTube. I review toys. She doesn't have a clue.
But she doesn't know what you do.
Not a clue. She's like, what's he always doing in that room?
Yeah.
Playing with myself, dear. Playing with myself.
Yeah, there you go. Play just like Adam. There you go. But yeah, here's the Alago heads. Alago heads, Eon heads. Get your own characters.
There he is. So he's like, he looks like a lion of such, right?
Yes. So each of these are inspired by animals. So the point behind the alien heads is that we have a silhouette of an animal that would look familiar to us, but when you look at it more closely, it's like, oh, that's not.
I like that silhouette technique. The Simpsons, Matt Groening used to do it with The Simpsons. He wanted you to know who each character was just based off their silhouette. And I feel like the same applies for Street Humans. You can tell who each one is just based off their alien silhouette.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't think of Matt Groening with that, but yes, that's definitely what I wanted. So yeah, Eon is going to come with 2 heads. And then the deluxe packs come with extra heads for the humans as well. So our funding goal is at 120, and shortly after that, at 126.5K, we have the deluxe accessory packs available.
So let's have a
Meaning
look at
that you
these.
get-
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We get the hoodie sleeve right over there. You can have the hoodie down. You can have the hoodie up. However you want to display your figure. And we have new interchangeable hands with the
I like the alien
hand.
hands because now the arms are covered. You can have the alien hands on, and he's like, "What else is him is transformed?"
Right. Yeah. And it looks pretty cool having the alien hands on there too, going with the arms.
I like the hooded options as well. I always get frustrated with our legends if we don't get all the hooded options, hood up, hood down, and stuff like that.
Right. And I wanted to demonstrate this, if you don't mind, because this was a very complicated thing. From the beginning, I wanted to be able to do this, and it was just really kind of scary. And the factory and I spent a lot of time looking at this. So the engineering is fairly complex to make this happen. But I wanted removable arms and butterfly joints. I actually got inspired by this with the Mr. Fantastic figure, but frustrated that we couldn't have a butterfly joint and a removable arm. So this isn't welded shut over here. It's a very early prototype, so I have to squeeze the chest to make it happen. But it very easily pops out right over there.
Is it just like an extended peg then, that sort of with the mushroom on the end? Is that how it grip?
Well, it's a very small mushroom at the end right over there. But yeah, it just ports right inside right there. You can see how the inside of that joint looks. And you still get the butterfly movement right over there. And you don't have pieces falling out.
Yeah, because
I
some
mean?
imports, you get the sort of inside shoulder bit slip away and stuff like that.
Right. So it's very important to make sure, again, keeping the collectors in mind. How are you going to army build a whole bunch of these guys and then have all these little pieces laying around? Like, I don't want you to have that experience. I really want you guys to have fun. I love having fun with figures, and that's the point of this whole thing, is to pass on the fun, is to have a good time with these.
And that's one of the most frustrating thing about getting, like, if you're excited to get something new and it arrives and then it's broken or you have QC issues, it sort of zaps all the fun away from your initial excitement. And then you put the figure on the shelf and you don't even want to look at him. You're like, no, I'm not even looking at you. So yeah, that's important.
Right. It's very much, and that means a lot to me, because when that happens, it's very much like I'm a musician, so I relate to everything's related.
Have you not heard my intro? Have you not heard my intro? I know a thing or two about music.
Yes, and you are a musician as well, Dan.
You got to see this microphone. Look at this.
Excuse me. But it's like, as a drummer, I don't always get to say like what song gets played next. Fortunately, I shout out to Carl McHugh. I've been playing in an Irish folk country band, and this guy Carl
he's a big fan of the channel. He watches all the time.
Carl McHugh?
I have no idea.
Oh, Carl McHugh. He's a fantastic singer.
Okay.
We have a big gig coming up in November. I'm very excited about it. But not all artists have this ability to know how to read the room. Like, he really knows how to read the room. So, like, maybe we play a couple of, like, more upbeat songs, and then the next song on the set list is kind of a slower song. But, like, if the level of excitement is in the room and it's really, really high, he'll say, hey, skip that last one. We're going to jump into another song instead.
Yeah, of course.
Because he's feeling the vibe. He knows where people are at.
Places like that, it's about energy. You want people to go home remembering how they felt. So you want to sort of capture that.
Exactly. The feeling. So it's a very similar thing with the figure, where it's like, if they're opening up the figure, they're excited to look at the figure. Like, I want that set vibe to continue through. Like, I want you guys to have a good time. I don't want the vibe to get ruined by a sad song in the middle of a good time, right?
Yeah, I get the analogy. I get it.
Yeah. So it's very important that, like, the experience of having the figures itself is a good one. That really means a lot to me. I want people to have fun with these. So
lots of customizability as well. Like, and again, this is why I feel like you need to get this. If you can't just get, well, you can just get one, of course you can, but I reckon to really enjoy these, you need to get the two characters from the get-go, so you can really experiment with the mixing and matching and the customizability of these, because again, this picture here shows you a couple of the different looks if you get the deluxe packs and stuff like that. And let me have a look down here. So yeah, again, I like all four characters. As I said, if all four were available for us, I would have backed all four straight away. But there you go.
And that one right there shows off a logo.
Yeah.
And all those different forms. You can have the hoodie as a vest. So yeah, the way we have it set up right now is that there is a slit on the side to help it move through here.
Yeah.
When we get into production, we're going to try to do away with that, but I can't promise it at this point. So we're going to continue to work on that.
I think if you can take both arms off, if the plastic isn't too stiff, surely be nice to just slide over the top of it without the slit.
Exactly, but I want to make sure that we're able to do that without anything breaking or tearing, So we have to. So if we're gonna risk tears and stuff like that, I'd rather have the slit on the side, because it's still been really fun to pose around and everything, even though that is there, So
completely pinless as well, by the way, like just for the generic
pinless joint all the way through.
Yeah.
Now these do have pins in them. Again, early prototypes. But you can see the pins right there, kind of sticking up a little bit.
You can actually see the pins sticking out on the prototypes. That's how you know they're prototypes.
Yeah. So those are there, but the final will not have those on there. And then I could go ahead and take the fists on this one.
So you don't get the alien hands until we unlock the deluxe packs.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And I've actually had to repaint these myself a couple of times because the paint just does not adhere to the polyurethane at all. Like it's barely on. Again, you're not supposed to be playing with these, but it's like, for another $18.
I like the black hoodie. I don't know why. For some reason, I like the black hoodie look. I think that would be the look I go for some reason. I think I wear a black hoodie on every single stream I do, so that works for me.
Nice. Yeah, that's my favorite color hoodie too. And they all have black tops. So we're starting with black because I feel like it's a very universal color to work with. And if these guys are supposed to be army built and in your display, maybe you may not want to have the brightest colors standing out. However, I mean, dude, the possibilities are unlimited with this. If we get into production, we can get exclusives, we can get variants, we can get different colors, we can get more interesting patterns. Once that steel is cut, we'll be able to get more product out and change things up and give a lot more variety.
I like the different colours of the camo. Do you know, like you could get like a grayscale camo or like a Dudley Boys purple camo or something crazy like that.
Absolutely. And the other thing too is that I don't want to just reproduce the same figures over and over again.
Yeah.
Let's say we sell every single one of these in the first run, right? Excuse me. Well, if I'm going to make a new set of camo pants, it's going to be a different color scheme.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And same thing with these. Like, it maybe not khaki. We will go with like a light brown instead. They're meant to be army built, so I'm going in this with the assumption that you have a lot already.
Well, I like that when you get the deluxe pack. So when you actually get to unlock them, it comes with more interchangeable heads with different hairstyles as well. So it really does start to wear. So I do prefer it when we get an army, like the recent Marvel Legend. What was it from the Bros? What are they in? What words escape me when I'm live on YouTube? The Hawkeye Tracksuit Mafia people, those guys. They came with 3 different heads. So I like having that variety with. So I like how you got the different hairstyles on.
Exactly, and the silhouette is going to look different,
Yeah,
I really like this one a lot.
So there's the 2 images you've got there showing off both of the customizability. And remember, the jackets are part of the deluxe set. They're not part of the base offering. So to get them, we need a successful campaign.
Yeah, that we need at least. It's not that far past the funding goal. It's really not.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's like only a couple of thousand up and up, and then more can get unlocked.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not too far away. If it's. I think once we.
Yeah, that one's like 4,000 more, and you unlock it, which is reasonable, I think. Yeah, fair play.
And I really want to get those other characters made too.
Yeah, I've seen in the chat again. This is just reading comments in the chat. People were asking for female characters. Now again, that must you're Shartimus Prime. I'm sure you've got a barefooted female character concept art poster on your wall ready to go. But
well, and for what the women get, the guys got to get too. So there's possibilities.
You see the feet.
Yeah,
You could do a shoe pack. You could do a trainer sneaker accessory pack there.
Right. There are possibilities.
There's some just get on the phone to Nike, do like Nike and Adidas, and just get all these license. You get licensed kicks for your action figures.
I would love to do that. But you guys got to let me do it.
Yeah, of course.
You guys have to let me go nuts over here. And so far, we haven't really gone totally nuts yet. We haven't gotten it funded. So let's, we're going to get it funded.
Well, as I said, we're all about fun anyway. Like, this hobby is meant to be fun. So we that's what we try and focus on. And I think these are definitely fun. And they also genuinely do fill a gap in the collection. Now, again, I'm not a photographer as such with action figures, but I 100% see how these would very, very much benefit people who do. Because it's always crap when you see like people do their photography and that you can clearly see they're using like a Marvel Legend. Who did people used to use? They used to use, remember Demolition Man? Back in the day, people used to army build Demolition Man in the Marvel Legends line. Yeah, I think it's Demolition Man. I swear it's Demolition Man. Scourge or something like that.
Oh, the Scourge figure, yeah. Which I have.
People used to. My point is, people used to army build him and put him in shots, and I used to bug me because he's not an army builder. He's just one character. So I'd be like, you need an army. So I like how these are built or created with the intention to be army builders, and there's a story of why they look similar, etc., etc. Toy Shart in the chat, by the way. One more toy line. Support the Kickstarter. Pow. Thank you very much, Toy Fast. Always showing support.
This is one thing I wanted to show off too, is that like for me, the ones that I've used for army building the most is the chameleon body mold. I think I bought like 4 or 5 of those.
The suited body.
Yeah,
of
here
course.
We have Agent Wu right here. I haven't tried a head swap on this yet, but I wanted to demonstrate, see how it goes.
Let's have a go. Yeah, let's have a look.
So let's take an Eon head.
Scourge, D-Man Scourge. Why did I say Demolition
Man?
Man? I think it said Demolition Man on the box. Yes. Did it work? Oh, there you go. Yeah. That looks good.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. It actually ports on the peg, too. So we have the peg sculpted in a way so that it's as universal to go with 6-inch scale or 1/12 scale figures as much as possible.
I love that, by the way. What I love about modern day collecting is that the majority of the franchises and the toy lines I love are all in the same scale. Like G.I. Joe, Power Rangers. Like I know Hasbro do on both, but I love the fact that you can collect and things are in the same scale. So the fact that they're already in scale with my collection means I can put them anywhere, really, and just be like, they will disguise themselves in there very nicely.
Could do almost like a Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go. Yeah, cool.
Kind of thing like that. If you want to port that on there, if you want some freaky aliens just walking around.
Rich, I've got a question for you. Rich, if you were an alien coming to Earth and then you had to disguise yourself as some sort of animal hybrid, what animal would you choose, Rich? We can see Alago's there's a bat. We've got the lion and an alligator is one of them, and so what would you choose, Rich? What animal of choice would you go for? I don't want to be the...
I'd be a dog. I think I'd be a dog because everyone loves a dog. A cocker spaniel. I'd be a cocker spaniel. I've lovely long hair. That's my dreams, Dan. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Same question to you. What animal would you pick? Was it a bat? Is Alago your spirit animal?
Yeah, the bat all the way. I am deeply fascinated with bats. Like if I travel anywhere, we have some bats out here, but not that many. Now, don't get me wrong. When there's a ton of bats flying over my head, I'm ducking just like anybody else. I don't want to get rabies or bit or anything. But, man, they are so freaking agile. They are amazing. I went on a camping trip to Yosemite National Park in August, and, I had to ask around, like, where are the bats at? And they told me, oh, yeah, you got to go back around this building, and on the side over there, there's a roost where all these bats are flying. We didn't see any. Then I went back a couple hours later, and it was loaded with bats. And I'm all filming and stuff. One bat just went right over my head. Just whoosh. whoa.
Sure, that sounds
My
like
brother was
that
there.
sounds like an origin story to me. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I would love it if I could be like a genetically altered Batman. I would used to fantasize about having bat wings on my back when I was a kid, like all the time. So yeah, I have a thing with bats. I have other. Well, Dan, I have to ask you, what alien head would you want to see?
I don't know. I want something cool looking, like a wolf or something. I was thinking like an elephant, like a mammoth type elephant, with the tusks and a big trunk. I'm sure I'd find uses for that. Be like an extra hand. Be like a third hand on my face.
Yeah. No, that I actually have a really cool design for. So I have designs for other alien heads. Like, I've just kind of been going nuts with this stuff and getting different textures and looks. And again, like when you look at the details, not an elephant, but I have a really cool elephant alien head design already.
If you create a Cocker Spaniel head, we know where you got the idea from now, right?
Yeah.
Rich, pay attention.
No
Rich,
one's
right?
gonna create a Cocker Spaniel head.
I mean, those have the very low floppy ears, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, those very. It might happen. It might happen.
I'm just saying. Rich,
we'll
you want
see.
that? You want that
Nothing's off
check?
the table.
As long as Rich gets that check,
Well,
he's all good.
And I do. Just to put it out there, I initially designed female figures right at the beginning, like way back when I was getting these concepts down. It was female figures, and immediately, like, the factory was like, that's another project. Like, if you want to do that, you're going to have to kick up your funding goal way high. And it's like, okay, that's going to have to be another project.
I guess it's like starting from the bottom, because there's not really pieces you could reuse or anything like that, because it would all be different from the ground up, wouldn't it?
Well, they're going to be molded in different colors. That's the thing, is that I don't want people, to. I want the figures to have their own flesh tones to them.
Yeah.
So, like, doing like somebody had asked me to put up like artist proof versions of the figures, like grayscale, so that you could just customize. Like, oh, that shouldn't cost anything, right? It's just a grayscale figure. You got the mold, all that stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that does sound like it'd be really cheap to do. And then I talked to the factory, and they're like, yeah, so you're gonna need.
I think you're only
bam, 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 and I'm like, oh no.
You'd only be speaking to like 20% of collectors though, because like, I don't look at grayscale and think, oh yes, I get to paint that. Like, I think, oh no, not for me. Thank you very much. I can't be asked for that. So it's a nice, like McFarlane does it all the time, but I don't want no grayscale figures. I want them painted, please. So I'm sure there's a market for it. Of course, I am, but I think the market is slimmer. Is all I'm saying.
Correct. Not worth the cost.
Yeah.
It's going to cost a whole bunch to be able to do that. So, and because we're on this show, I have to try another head swap really quick.
Please do, and I'll shout out the chat. I should have absolutely said hippo. People are screaming hippo at me. I should have absolutely said hippo. My bad. I was too slow, but yes, hippo would have been my choice. Fox, okay. Cloud Fox. Well, of course, there's a fox, an alien fox lady. I'm all over it. Nice. That would be cool. We got a lizard as well.
We got a koala. I have one developed for a koala. Hey, okay, cool. So this doesn't.
Oh, how far, Hank? Look at this. He's been mutated.
I had to. Yeah. So it doesn't port on this, but you don't need a Dremel anything. You may need some sticky tack to get that.
Yeah, a bit of glue tack. That works. That's still absolutely.
But it still fits.
He's got a skeleton head at the minute.
Oh, cool, nice. And then let's see how it looks. Did this get a little?
Oh no! We've witnessed the scruffage. It's a prototype, people. It's a prototype. Yours will not arrive scruffed. Fortress Maximus in the chat says paint rubs off, molded plastic doesn't. Absolutely, another benefit of molding the plastic in the skin tone. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they could work as generic thugs, like unmasked versions of the Hellfire Guards. Absolutely.
Yeah. That makes me happy to see right there.
I think it scales great. I really do.
Yeah.
Mike Hex keeps talking about robots. You are shot, Ms. Prime. You do know a thing about Transformers and robots. Any robot technology involved in the Street Human storyline? Any robot interchangeable parts, he says?
not necessarily robots, but I do want to kind of dive into having a lot more alien weapons. The character Eros, the walrus-looking one, that particular character, his storyline is that he's worked for the Empire, King Alago. So this is Prince Alago.
Okay.
King Alago is the ruler of that planet, who also has telepathy abilities, which is kind of what causes that whole civil war over there, because people start realizing, like, wait, how is our world leader also a telepath? Those two things should not mix, right? Questionable if they're actually three people or not. So Eros works for the Empire. He's the top technician's expert. He's always
like the tech guy. I always like the Donatello or of the world. You know, like I like that.
And I always feel like it's great having that type of character. While definitely not my favorite turtle, I always appreciate
right,
that.
You're gonna have to leave. We're gonna have to. No one back the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh man, I'm losing backers now. Damn it. But hey, I love all four of those turtles. You know, I think all four of them are great. But you know, Leonardo, it's like it's not even a crew.
We're moving on. We're talking about street humans, right? What are you talking about?
All right. Yeah, we're gonna get. But yeah. So I only have a few minutes left too. But the character of Eros is that he's been kind of under the control of the king, developing these weapons and everything. Eon takes him with him to planet Earth. So those are the first two that team up, is Eon and Eros. And Eon's basically saying, hey, look, I'm going to let you develop whatever you want to develop. You kick it with me. You join me on this quest. Like, you'll be the one setting the stage as far as all the technology that we bring to planet Earth.
I like the tusks here. They could be removable tusks that also turn into weapons to stab people with.
That's very funny that you mentioned that, because we actually looked into articulating the tusks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we may do that. Not necessarily removable, but articulated so that you could turn it side to side and they could just flare out a little bit individually, so they're not getting in the way of the chest. So that's one thing that we looked into. So
let's do a quick summary, because I know you got to get out of here, and I do want to just quickly get your thoughts on the new Wasp reveal. Real quick summary on Street Humans. Again, all the links for the pre-orders, people, are in the chats. Any final thoughts from you?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dan. I don't mean to be rude, but we did get another backer. So they summoned the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. Woo! All right.
There it is. It's working.
All right. One step closer to this being a reality.
So if someone backs on, if someone does go on Haladope Toys right now and backs it or buys them, does that add straight onto the Kickstarter, or are they doing it in one chunk at the end? How's that working?
Yeah, we have chunks of 20, because we have that 20 packs. So whenever we get to 20, then
that makes sense.
We'll get a bump over there.
So again, links in the description, everybody. Street Humans. If you're international, Haladope Toys is the way to go. But another option is Big Bad Toy Store. But if you're in North America, the Kickstarter is the best way to go. Absolutely.
Nerdzoic too. Nerdzoic. Haladope Toys, Big Bad Toy Store, and Nerdzoic. Matt's been great, by the way. Matt's an awesome guy.
He's a good guy. So there you go. Links in the description, people. All right. So again, I'm in for some Street Humans. I'd love to see the other characters get unlocked. I'll be in for every unique character, and I will be displaying them as the aliens. As I said to us, that's what intrigues me. I love the world building of it.
And damn it, I already liked you, Dan, but
there we go.
Jesus. Yeah, you had to kick it up a notch, damn it.
Well, let's get into something else that we both love. Of course, it's Marvel Legends. And as I said, the Hasbro team know I stream on a Thursday, so of course they had to drop some Marvel Legends news for me. So just before we went live, they revealed we are going to be getting a classic-looking Wasp. And this is Wasp as she appeared in her debut at the Avengers. Again, in issue 2... there was a Giant Man. Remember, I keep telling people, there's Giant Man, there's Wasp. It'll be the perfect accompanying piece. But is it too little, too late? Russ, what are your thoughts on this Wasp and also just Giant Man in general as we run down the last 4 days now?
Yeah, I mean, I personally have been sold on the offering since day one. Like, I immediately backed it. It has been something that I've been asking for. And I think there's some stuff in there that's even cooler than I originally thought they would include. Like, for instance, one thing I really, really liked about seeing the prototype in person in New York was
of
that,
course, you seen it, didn't you? Yeah, shit.
yeah, I was there in person looking at it. I mean, it looks gigantic next to the well, no pun intended, but like it does look enormous next to the Toy Biz version, which I keep pointing to it, but you can't see it. It's all the way up there. It's a lot of legends, but the details look phenomenal. I was you see it from farther away. It looks like it's just red. Like even on the screen, I'm seeing it's just like with red with some black shading on it.
Yeah.
But when you get closer to it, you really start seeing a lot more details in the sculpt right there. And I appreciate that kind of thing. Some people may not care about that. Like, I'm fine if it was flat or if it had texturing. I don't care either way. Well, that's you. You know what I mean? For me, as a collector, I love details. So see, like right over here, like, you know, it looks like it's just a solid smooth red and that's it. But that's not what it is. It has a lot of texturing in those red sections of the figure. You can see that ribbed pattern in the blue parts.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can see that leathering. Yeah, you can see that ribbed pattern there. You can see the leathery blue in the gloves a little bit.
And this is just the prototype as well. From Hasbro's perspective, they've been saying that the final product, obviously they want it to look as close to this, but it will probably look better when it's finally done. That's what usually is the case. They go in there and tweak it and change it. So yeah, you've seen this in person. So you were in from day one, but seeing it in person just confirmed that you made the right decision, essentially.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just made me want it even more. I like the price. I'm okay with the price. Look, if I was just talking about this on the ACBA podcast yesterday. Like, this is a luxury, right? Yep. Collecting toys, like this is for fun. This is a luxury. So if I go take my wife to a luxury dinner, right? I'm spending money on something that I want to spend good money on good stuff. You know, $200 if that's what it costs for what that's offering right there. For me, that's great. I'm happy with it. I'm like, yes, I put me down for two. I want two. I want to get a Super Scroll also. I want that Super Scroll head. So I want to, Super Scroll Giant Man and regular Giant Man. So
I've got a poll up in the chat right now. Currently 150 votes. If we get one more person voting in there, I've got three suggestions. I've said, will the Giant Man get funded? I spelled giant wrong, but thankfully no one noticed that I've just pointed it out.
I didn't notice either.
10k minimum. Will it get backed? The options are yes, it will make it 10k at least. Currently has 60% of the vote. No, unfortunately, it's not happening with 35. And then 5% of the people out there think it's going to get backed, unlocked, everything is going to get unlocked. So, Shah, if you were a betting man, what are you betting? Is it going to get unlocked? Is it unlocking everything? What are you saying?
I'm betting that it unlocks the first tier.
Okay,
that's my bet.
And you'll be happy with that. Okay, as from again, everyone's got this perception of value now, and again, fairly so, of course. But you, as a consumer, you will be happy with what you get. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, I'll be satisfied if it just gets backed. Like if I just get to have that Giant Man, I'll be fine with that. But I would still be happy if it was just the first tiers. Like from then on, I'm kind of looking at it all as a bonus. So I'm fine with, some people are going to think, hey, no, it should have come with all of this and that. But it's like, yo, it all costs money. You're just asking for free shit.
Look, everyone has their opinion. The problem is people trying to tell you you're wrong when you don't share the same opinion. It's like people can't understand. Everyone has a different perception, different opinions. That's allowed. That's okay. You can love it. You can hate it. You can think it's too much. You can think it's too cheap. You're allowed your own opinion. That's what makes the world unique.
Oh, yeah. I do not expect everybody to want Giant Man in their collection as much as I do. You know what I mean? Like it's like the same thing with like the street humans. Like not everybody is going to want the civilians in their collection, right? Like I understand that. But as somebody who's been wanting this figure, this size, like I'm excited to get it. And I think it's a fair price. $200 for a huge figure like that, man, and fully loaded with the articulation. There's a couple of things with articulation that I wish they developed a disc hinge. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard Dwight talk about cutting into the back of the neck to allow
No,
for more
we
range.
didn't. Is that what you said he was going to do?
Yeah. He said that because I had mentioned it. I think other people may have mentioned it too. That like I want to know how far he could look up, and he said that he was playing with it and he realized, oh, it actually doesn't really look up that great. So they're going to cut into the steel a little notch, very much like the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. That has
okay.
Yeah, now that bummed me out because I was like, you made that oopsie before. You know what I mean? Like, you'd done that before. But I'm happy that they're doing that. You know what I mean? At least it's going to help.
I'd rather him look down than up. Like, who's he looking up at? Who's bigger than Giant Man? Like, I need him looking down.
Flyers. That flying villains.
Oh, okay,
you know what I
that's
mean?
fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Shout out Black Knight as well, who's just joined the chat and subscribed as well. So thank you, Black Knight. So we got both Black Knight and Ted now in the chat. We got the whole Head of Dope Toys gang here in the chat, which we have been plugging this evening. So again, links in. I'll make sure links are in the description to get your Street Humans. So there we go. So again, bringing it back to Wasp then. Again, we haven't had a comic Wasp since like that Ultron. I think it was Ultron. Is it the Ultron Build-A-Figure wave? Yes, it was.
I think you're right.
Yeah, the Ultron Build-A-Figure wave, and that was a more modern-ish looking Wasp. Do you like this costume that they've went for? Do you reckon it's the right choice to go for that classic Avengers look?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is what I wanted. If they didn't do this one, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, come on, man. Like, what are you guys like? There's so many costumes to choose from. You got to get this one down. You know, there's so many forgettable outfits that they could have gone with. I thought this was the perfect choice. I love the size of the wings. I think the wings look great. She's got the double joint pinless.
Are they new wings or are they just what we've got before?
I am 99% sure that I could actually just look up right here. I thought they were brand new, but now I'm thinking
this is what I'm saying. I don't know. I haven't compared them side by side.
I can't really take her down.
Mine are all in boxes at the minute, so I can't even check. Rich, have you got the old Wasp? Is that reused wings?
Yeah, not by the side of me though.
Someone in the
I
chat
thought they didn't look as small on the bottom, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think those are actually reused, to be honest with you. Because there's this little curve.
See that? We're out now. We're out. I'm back in Aslab. It's all over.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're reused, to be honest with you.
I'm fine with reused wings as long as she's pinless. She's got the double jointed elbows. Again, it's a character gap we needed. Rich, do we need an unmasked head for Janet here?
No, you could have done it, but I think this fits more. If they're going to do the classic Avengers, you need the helmet look with the headset. That works much better, I think. Yeah. Anyway,
and can we all agree, as an accessory, she needs to come with a smaller Wasp or a smaller Ant-Man or something. That needs to be packed in there.
And fists too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they've said this is continuing the Earth's Mightiest Heroes anniversary line, and most of them with 2-packs. So could this be another 2-pack? So maybe true. This is where the Hank figure will go as well.
Interesting, because they haven't technically said where it's going to be. They haven't confirmed she's a single release. They just said that this character is coming. So again, in celebration of Avengers, Earth's Most Mightiest, Beyond Earth's Mightiest, we will continue in 2024. Coming soon, Janet Van Dyne. So they don't say how she's being released. So you're right. Could be 2-pack, 3-pack, 5-pack, single release. Who knows?
Yeah, we have no idea.
Who knows? But we know she's coming, that's for sure. And we've been saying on the channel that Hasbro should have, I don't understand why, because Ryan Ting's basically been telling everyone that, yes, these figures are coming, but never officially said they're coming. So I don't understand why they've took so long. Do you reckon it's the right move, or should they have shown this earlier?
So the fact that they're showing this now tells me, this is just from my experience now getting into this game of trying to make this stuff, they didn't have it until now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they had it until now. I don't think they waited on it on purpose. I think they may have thought they may have had it in development for a little while. There may have been some kind of delay or something, but I have a feeling that they didn't have it until now, because I think, or this was part of their plan to help give it a push towards the end, which I think is not a very smart plan.
Yeah.
So it was either bad planning and hey, we're going to wait to the very end and show off other characters that would go along with this, which I think is I don't understand the benefit of waiting to the end like that. It's me including the alien heads, knowing that I want to include the alien heads, but only waiting till like the very last week to do that. Like, why would I do that? Like, I want people to want the shit. So like, why would you wait? So in my mind, they didn't have this until now. This is just, I believe this image is hot off the press. Like, we're getting it like bam right now.
Rich, do you agree with that, Rich? Do you reckon this can't have been their plan to release this 3 days before the campaign ends, right?
I think though they needed something to push. Yeah. Because they revealed everything this year. There's nothing else they could do. It's like that's what they're offering. That's what they're getting. So like they've already done the antenna. They've been to New York Comic Con. They've shown it to the public, and that seemed to get a good response. But then they still need something to like market it. I'm surprised they didn't do a live stream with this to show it. It's just like it was on the Hasbro Pulse Instagram, just this picture. Like they could have hyped it up a bit more because I think a lot of people were saying, "Where's Janet? Where's Janet?" And again, like Shotmus was saying, now you're getting, well, why wasn't this in the initial offering? Why wasn't this an add-on to you? But I'm going to be honest, I like it this way because whether Giant Man fans or not, we're getting a Wasp next year. Yeah. And I would much rather this now than the Giant Man being 225, Janet being tier 3. We might not even get to tier 3 as it is. So we would never have got that Janet. It would have been like Madeline Pryor, like Mephisto, like never to be seen again. So at least we're getting Janet whatever happens. So that's a good thing. And it's $25. And if you don't want the Giant Man but still want a Wasp, you can get it. It's not forcing you to buy Giant Man to get Wasp. And the same thing, if you only like Giant Man, you don't want Wasp, you don't have to pay that extra $25. You've saved yourself $25 and you can just get the Giant Man.
I completely agree. I'm happy that regardless of what happens with Giant Man, this Wasp is coming, and that's good to know. Gavra?
And those figures will come back, Rich, just not exactly the way we saw those Engine of Vengeance releases, right?
No, like Madeline needs more boob shot on us. That's what she needs. She needs that under boob.
Yeah, they're gonna fix her and fix the color of the cape too, right? So they're gonna, they're gonna give a more accurate version. I'm sure they will.
The people that own that Marvel Legend Mephisto they were the people that really sabotaged the Engine of Vengeance because they wanted
the select.
People who own the select Mephisto, they sabotaged the Engine of Vengeance just to keep that value up on their select Mephisto, which I've seen at a toy fair recently for like £90. We seen it at a toy fair, didn't we, Rich? It was like 90 quid or something ridiculous. Yeah. Without the throne as well. Without the throne. Ridiculous. Right. Okay, let's wrap up. Shatamus, always a pleasure. You're welcome anytime. Again, we could talk Marvel Legends all day long. Good luck for Street Humans, my friend. I will absolutely be in for the unique characters. And again, I hope it's a success so we can see even more. As I said, I love that aspect of this campaign, but I love that we have the option to army build them and have some folks in the crew as well. But just final thoughts for the people, and I'm sure everybody watching this knows where to find you online. But just in case there's just one straggler that's a bit slow to the YouTube game, where can we find Shartimus Prime and the Kickstarter online?
Right. So, yeah, definitely check out Street Humans on Kickstarter. And I have a Street Humans Instagram page where I've been posting more photos. We just hit over 400 backers. I mean, we had 405 just a second ago. Let's see if it went up at all. In case I got hit the Infinity Gauntlet. No, not yet. But sure we'll get more today. And we're going to be posting more photos over on the Instagram. So follow the Street Humans Instagram, please. And follow the Street Humans Kickstarter page. I post updates on both. And my Shartimus Prime YouTube channel is still going. I'm still posting reviews. I have a whole bunch of Marvel Legends that I want to post, and some McFarlane toys and other goodies. So still love my figures, still want to review figures. It's just, my schedule's been kind of a little bit full lately, doing a lot of, Street Human stuff. We got 16 days to go. And hopefully, if you're interested in backing this project, you back it sooner than later. I have been having a great time with these figures. I've been having a lot of fun, and I want to share that fun with you as well. So please jump in on this. I think for $28, you're getting a great deal. I want you to have an amazing experience with these figures. So go ahead and back that Street Humans Kickstarter now.
There you go. Beautifully said. And again, I'll make sure the links are in the description. Most of them already are, but I'll make sure I add that Instagram one as well. But yeah, again, good luck. They look great, and I'll be keeping my eye on it for sure. But we'll let you get out of here, and then me and Rich will wrap up the show because we're going to go off to the little after show as well. But it's been a pleasure having you on, Russ. Welcome anytime, all right?
Pleasure being here, and thank you guys so much. I had a really good time today. Thank you.
Good man. Right. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.
All right, you guys. Take care.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Beautiful. Right. So Russ is going to jump out of here. There he is. He's gone. Then there was two. Rich, we're going to go off to the after show, of course. But before we go, Mr. David D. Pole, we've heard of him.
David D. Pole donated €5. Like McFarlane announcing Wonder Woman after Power Princess was announced.
Like McFarlane announcing Wonder Woman after Power Princess was announced. That's him referring to Wasp getting the slow reveal. But yeah, sort of. But at least they're coming. At least they're both coming. We're going to get Power Princess and Wasp in our Marvel Legends collection by the end of next year, at least, anyway. The Power Princess sooner rather than later. We think that, don't we, Rich? We think we're going to see Power Princess pretty soon.
Yeah, I think probably this side of Christmas. I think it'll be like before December, I reckon. We usually get the first wave ships in December time. So I reckon before Christmas. That's what I'm thinking.
So, right, we are going to go to the after show as well. So if you are part of the Who Crew Deluxe, then you can follow us over to the after show and you can be on the show. I literally will send you the Zoom link. So start hitting me up on Instagram at It's Dan Who if you want to join the after show. All you have to do is be a part of the Who Crew Deluxe and you can come and watch it. We are going to continue talking to you guys and see what your honest opinions are about this HasLab. Do you really think it's going to get back? Are you just being positive to save face, or do you reckon it's an absolute shambles? I'm ending the poll right now. 62% people think it will get back at 10k. 5% are feeling really lucky, okay, it went down. 4% are feeling really lucky that it's going to actually get everything unlocked. Me and Rich will discuss what we finally think, our final thoughts on the HasLab on the after show. Where's the poll? I was looking for the poll. There it is. I've ended it anyway. The results are in. Hero Collections, I've heard of that guy. He says 1 week to go. And he's, of course, on about Giant Man. I'm in. Rich is in. We got Rich. We got him. Rich is in. So there's at least 2 people back in it. We just need 3,000 more. I don't even have 3,000 in my phone book, so I can't even... Who has a phone book? I'm lying. In my phone. Who has a phone book? What am I talking about?
We did have some super chats as well that I think you missed out in that.
Okay, let me have a little quick look. We can do a quick look. Okay, so Z-Man jumped in the channel membership. Thank you, Z-Man. James also did. Thank you. I read out a couple of Mark Tac-Tacs. Female Street Humans, we definitely mentioned that. Toy Fast, we definitely mentioned him. Shout out, he's always with the memes, the meme god of the toy world. Him and that Chaz Guru, anyway. Cloud with the alien fox, you know who I'm talking about. The alien fox lady, he's all over it. I'd be all over it as well. We read out David's, we read out Hero Collections. He says back Giant Man. We got them all. What are you talking about? I was on the ball. I had everybody.
I thought you missed Toy Fast's because he couldn't get it working. That's what I thought you missed.
No, I got it. We're good.
Oh, well done. Done.
We're good. Right, we're off to the after show anyway. Rich, in case no one's following us there, where can the people find you online?
You can find me at Displayed Once on Instagram or here on most Thursdays, but I'm not here next Thursday. I'm watching Six the Musical.
It's true. So next week, I will do a show on the Thursday, but Rich will already be in London. Next weekend is MCM Comic Con in London. So there'll be a Hasbro panel that weekend, I hope, fingers crossed. Reveals, I hope, fingers crossed. And also the Who Crew meetup. So if you are in the UK and if you've been watching the stream for this long, then obviously you might like some of the people in the chat. We will be meeting up. So there'll be a big meetup. I'm sure drinks will be involved. Toys will definitely be involved. So yeah, if you are coming to MCM Comic Con, even if you're shy and you've never spoke up in the chat before or whatever, just hit me up. We're a good bunch of people, all right? Don't be scared. Come and say hello. Let's forever building this toy community. This hobby is more fun when you can share it with good people. I promise you that, all right? So that's next weekend. So maybe I'll get the super. I think, to be fair, I was about to say, there's the back Giant Man.
Hero Collections donated £4.99.
Thank you.
Back Giant Man.
Back Giant Man. You heard it himself from the former co-host. It is Brandon. He says back Giant Man. He is obviously in. And then we've also got one more from James, who's his first super chat. So I'm going to make sure Friday reads this out. So thank you, James. I'll let Friday read this.
James Street Sissy NS donated $5. Much love to Dan and Rich. I've been watching for months. It's hard to catch a live one on the west coast of the USA, but I finally subscribed.
You absolute legend, my friend. So James says, much love to Dan and Rich. I've been watching for months, but it's hard to catch a live one on the west coast of the US. But I finally subscribed. He has become a channel member. Thank you so much, James. That is massively appreciated because, yeah, time zones are a pain in the ass. I think Shartamus is on the west coast as well. So obviously it's the middle of the day for you, right? It's like 1 o'clock or something like that. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone in the chat. A Who Crew meetup, we're approachable, right? Yeah, well, absolutely. You might have to look down to notice Adam, though. He's at like knee-height level. Yeah, I'm joking. He'd beat me up, to be fair. He absolutely would. Hey, Dan has a new background. Yes, I will show this background off in detail on my extra show. So I'm going to go, and shit that are talking about it, where I'm going to go, Rich, I'm going to the end screen. Where is it? I've got a button. There it is. There it is. You don't need to wave. It's just me. Hang on, Rich wants to wave. Rich is still waving. He's not even here. Click one of these videos. Which one? Kraglin. Get Kraglin to 1,000
Kraglin to 1,000.
Click
Get Kraglin.
I'll make sure he's there, and then I'll put something else over there. Probably Wasp, all right? But I appreciate you. Follow us.